Good evening and welcome to the Newshour. I'm Madhavdas G. Now, ladies and gentlemen, not just in Afghanistan, Saudi and Iran. Now, women in Congress, in fact, Netas sprinkled Ganga Jal as part of the purification of the venue and recited Hanuman Chalisa as well. Their only demand is that none other than Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, in fact, because the function was allegedly held on the occasion of his birthday, should come in and apologize. Akhilesh too has slammed the BJP for insulting Hindu gods.
बीजेपी की धर्म के साथ क्या ताल्लुक है, ये इसका बड़ा सबूत है कि वो न दूसरों के धर्म की इज्जत करते, न अपने धर्म की इज्जत करते। वो इस देश के अंदर कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। मोदी जी हैं तो सब मुमकिन है।
सीधे सीधे बजरंगबली हम सबके आराध्य का अपमान है। ये हम मांग कर रहे हैं कि तत्काल इनको या तो मुख्यमंत्री जी इस्तीफा दे दें अगर बजरंगबली से वो टकराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि बजरंगबली का जिनने भी अपमान किया है उनको तत्काल पद से हटाया।
एक माह पहले पठान पिक्चर का विरोध करते हुए उसे दीपिका पादुकोण की बिकिनी में अश्लीलता दिख रही थी, जबकि दीपिका पादुकोण ने हनुमान जी को स्पर्श नहीं किया था, वो अश्लील थी। और इन प्रतियोगियों ने हनुमान जी के स्पर्श को करते हुए जिस बिकनी का धारण किया है वह ड्रेस संस्कारवान कैसे बन गई। यही भारतीय जनता पार्टी के चरित्र को हमको उजागर करना है। हम स्पर्धा के विरोधी नहीं हैं।
तो सवाल ये है कि क्या ये अपमान बीजेपी आरएसएस के लिए नहीं है कि आप भगवान के सामने इस तरह के प्रदर्शन को आप एक तो आयोजित कर रहे हैं।
But the nudity and obscenity charge hasn't gone down well with the athletes. They asked, since when did the dress code become a symbol of insult? They stressed that Lord Hanuman is the patron deity of bodybuilding and dictating what women should and shouldn't wear reeks of a regressive mindset. Listen in.
हमारे कितने सारे एथलीट्स को गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स मिले हैं, तो बहुत मेहनत करके हम यहाँ पर आते हैं। कोई भी हार्ड वर्किंग को आप अप्रिशिएट कीजिए। आप कुछ गलत लिख के किसी का भला नहीं होगा।
फिटनेस एक स्पोर्ट्स है। फिटनेस में कई सारी कैटेगरीज होती है जिसमें ड्रेस कोड कंपलसरी होता है, उसके आधार पे प्रेजेंटेशन करना होती है। अगर उसमें किसी को इस अश्लीलता और ये लगती तो उसका नज़रिया का फ़र्क है। नहीं, हम भविष्य में अगर इस प्रकार की गतिविधि और हमारे स्पोर्ट्स को बदनाम करने का प्रयास अगर किया जाएगा तो हम सभी उसके प्रति कार्रवाई जरूर करेंगे। बहुत ही ज़्यादा निंदनीय है। ये जिसने भी ऐसा कथन करा है उसके अपने कथन पर उसको माफ़ी मांगना चाहिए।
But can the opposition take a higher moral ground, especially when its own leaders have berated Hindu Asta on multiple occasions, from the Hindu word is dirty to saffron terror to calling the book on Lord Ram regressive and abusive? The list of the hate playbook goes on and on. And this brings me to the legitimate question that we're asking this evening. How's Nari Shakti obscene?
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 1, on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining us for more, we have with us Dr. Anand Raghunathan, author. Dr. Sunita Godara is the Asian Marathon Champion of 1992. Joining us also with us is, in fact, Kasturi Shankar, who's an actor. Pratibha Prahlad is a renowned artist and socio-political activist. Dr. Suman C. Raman is a political analyst joining us. Anurag Bhadoria is a spokesperson of Samajwadi Party. Dushan Nagar is also with us. He's a political analyst as well. Let me start with Dr. Sunita Godara. And Dr. Sunita Godara, you know, this entire controversy, many are seeing it as an extremely unfortunate one. Because leaving aside the politics, what has unfortunately happened over here is that hard-working athletes who have done nothing wrong, they have just competed in an event as they were very much supposed to, have probably worked really hard, worked not just months but years to come into this kind of athletic form for a national level competition. Yes. Unfortunately, today...
See, first of all, it is a dress code of bodybuilding because they have to show their muscles. So this is mandatory for them to wear their gear. And this is not two-piece bikini or something like that. This is the bodybuilding gear, first of all. Like we have in tennis, we have skirt, which is already mandatory by the Western world. Same way in athletics, we have gear. Gymnastics, we have body-hugging gear. In wrestling, we have body-hugging gear. So if people are objecting to gear, they are just stupid. They don't know anything about sports, first of all. Secondly, Lord Hanuman is symbol of strength. He is a god, but he is a symbol of power. And this is a power game. These girls are working hard for years and years, then only they are achieving this body shape and they are showing their muscles. So there should not be any objection. Now the third point, very interesting, like the movie Pathan got so much of TRP because of this political controversy. I'm so happy as a sports person that now this bodybuilding show will become so famous, the bodybuilding will become so famous, then these girls will get some benefit. So thank you, these politicians, they do tutu meme and the sports go, now the whole world is watching. So the bodybuilding, which was not so famous a sport for women especially,
well, your
now
last
it will
point,
become famous.
your
So
last point,
so
I hope
much,
it's in jest, because that would be a very tragic state of affairs if we need a controversy or regressive mindsets like this to actually popularize sport. I think nothing can be more unfortunate. But let me quickly bring in some of our other panelists as well. In fact,
no, these people are doing it. So see,
yes,
they are doing their politics.
Let's
but
start.
I'm a very positive person. Sports will not be harmed.
Right. Now, I want you to respond to our political panelists also.
They are not doing anything wrong.
I'm sure sports persons and sports is made of much stronger stuff than politicians and, whatever thoughts they may have on this issue. But let me quickly bring in, also introduce Dr. Sunita Godara, who's a Padma Shri as well as a Dronacharya awardee and coach of the National Women's Kabaddi team. I'm going to come to Dr. Sunil Dabas. थोड़े मिनट के लिए बने रहिए हमारे साथ. Let me bring in now अनुराग भदौरिया. अनुराग भदौरिया, अगर हनुमान जी शक्ति के प्रतीक हैं तो इस तरह की रिग्रेसिव सोच हम क्यों ला रहे हैं, इस तरह की आपत्तियां क्यों ला रहे हैं? आपके पार्टी के नेता अखिलेश यादव ने खुद ट्वीट किया है कि भगवानों को इंसल्ट किया जा रहा है. ये कैसे नजरिया सोचने का 21st सेंचुरी में?
मैं तो सबसे पहले दिवाली की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं हमारे सभी पैनलिस्ट
दिवाली की होली
देशवासियों को. मैं तो इतना ही कहूंगा जैसे बीजेपी की होली की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं. होली की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं. सुन लीजिए, होली की बहुत सारी शुभकामनाएं. और जो हमारे साथी बैठे हुए हैं जिन्होंने बोला कि कितनी अजीब सी बात बोली कि हमें कंट्रोवर्सी की जरूरत पड़ती है. ये शब्द क्या बोलने वाले होते हैं कि हमें कंट्रोवर्सी की जरूरत पड़ती है? ऐसा नहीं है, हमें कोई कंट्रोवर्सी की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती हिंदुस्तान को. हिंदुस्तान के लोग सक्षम हैं अपनी ताकत दिखाने के लिए. महिलाओं को कोई कंट्रोवर्सी की जरूरत नहीं है, अगर वो ताकतवर हैं तो सक्षम है. दूसरी बात मैं आपके बीच में नहीं बोला, मैं अपनी बात कह लूं फिर आप बोल लीजिएगा. दूसरी बात, माधव जी, आज मैं ये दिखा रहा हूं, ये आप पहचान रहे होंगे, ये गुजिया है. इस गुजिया के बारे में क्या हम कभी बात नहीं करेंगे? होली का दिन है, इतना महंगा है गैस, इतनी महंगाई है बाहर कि लोग आज अपनी गुजिया बनाने को तरस रहे हैं.
अनुराग जी प्लीज,
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की बातें देखिए.
अनुराग जी प्लीज,
जनता पार्टी की बातें देखिए.
आज तो कम से कम इन पॉलिटिक्स को साइड में रखिए सर.
ये बहुत जरूरी बात है, पूरी बात होने दीजिए. अरे नहीं, पॉलिटिक्स को साइड नहीं कर रहा हूं.
बात बॉडी बिल्डिंग की हो रही है, हनुमान जी की हो रही है, आप गुजिया को कहां से लेके आ रहे हैं बीच में?
अरे बात देखिए, मुझे बोलने दीजिए, आप फिर मैं आ जाऊंगा.
नहीं, आपको हर किसी सब्जेक्ट पे बोलने का अधिकार नहीं है सर. आज जो सब्जेक्ट है डिस्कशन का उस पे बोलिए प्लीज.
अरे बोलने नहीं दोगे तो आप कैसे बात
चलेगी? सब्जेक्ट पे बोलिए.
अरे होली का दिन है, सबसे बड़ा सब्जेक्ट गुजिया है होली के दिन में. माधव जी, होली के दिन में गुजिया से बड़ा सब्जेक्ट कुछ नहीं हो सकता. तो मुझे बोलने दीजिए. सवाल यह है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी का आप एक आलम देखिए, चित भी मेरी पट भी मेरी, हर तरह की चीज अपने हिसाब से अपनी कहानी बना लेते हैं. लेकिन जनता की बात ना हो जाए. कभी वो कांग्रेस ने क्या बोला उनकी बात करने बैठ जाएंगे डिबेट लेके, कभी किसी ने क्या बोला उनकी बात लेके बैठ जाएंगे. जनता ने क्या बोला है? जनता ने तो आपको सत्ता दी है.
पार्टी के नेता अगर इस पे सवाल उठा रहे तो सर उसको ट्वीट ना किया जाए.
माधव जी,
अखिलेश यादव जी ने ट्वीट किया कल रात को 12 बजे और उसको ट्वीट ना किया, उस ट्वीट के बारे में चर्चा ना की जाए. क्या कह रहे हैं आप?
अरे तो
इसमें बीजेपी कांग्रेस की बात ही नहीं आती. जब इस तरह की वहां गंगा जल छिड़की जा रही है, जब इस तरह की रिग्रेसिव माइंडसेट को दर्शाया जा रहा है तो उस पर कोई चर्चा नहीं होनी चाहिए. अनुराग जी, कैसी बातें कर रहे हैं?
आपने पढ़ा ट्वीट, आपने पढ़ा?
बिल्कुल पढ़ा.
आपने कि नहीं पढ़ा?
बिल्कुल पढ़ा है.
पढ़ा कि नहीं पढ़ा?
बिल्कुल पढ़ा है, तभी तो बोल रहा हूं आपको मैं.
तो क्या था, जरा पढ़ के सुनाइए दोबारा.
नहीं, क्या कहा कि भगवान को इंसल्ट किया जा रहा है? ये तो सीधा सवाल है उनका. और द पॉइंट दैट वी आर मेकिंग इज दिस कि इस तरह की कंपटीशन से जब वहां पे देयर कैन बी मेल कंपटीटर्स इन द सेम स्टेज, हाउ डज दिस बिकम एन इंसल्ट ऑफ द गॉड? बिकॉज दिस इज द ईयर, दिस इज व्हाट सुनीता गोदारा इज आस्किंग यू. आप उसका तो जवाब दे नहीं रहे, आप गुजियों की बात कर रहे हैं,
तोड़ मड़ोड़ रहे हैं. फिर
बिल्कुल तोड़ मरोड़ नहीं रहे, बहुत ही क्लियर और स्पष्ट नैरेटिव, बहुत ही क्लियर क्वेश्चन है ये। क्या हम डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स और हिपोक्रेसी की कहीं ना कहीं यहाँ पे हम दर्शा रहे हैं जब हम कहते हैं कि विमेन एथलीट्स वहां अगर परफॉर्म करेंगे तो ये गलत है?
अरे आपने डिबेट पे बुलाया है, खुद ही बोलना है तो बोल लो खुद ही। फिर मुझे क्यों बुलाया यार? कमाल के इंसान हो भाई।
सवाल पूछ रहा हूं मैं आपसे, जवाब दीजिए।
मतलब फिर हमें क्यों बुलाया जब आप कोई बोल रहे?
जवाब दीजिए सर, गुजियों पे बात मत करिए, सवालों का जवाब दीजिए।
बोलते जा रहे हो, कह रहे हो सवाल पूछ रहा हूं मैं,
जवाब दीजिए
यार। अरे आपको एजेंडा चलाना तो चलाइए, मैं उठ।
एजेंडा नहीं है सर, सीधा सवाल है, सीधा सवाल है। प्लीज गिव एन आंसर अबाउट द डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ नेताज दैट आर ऑन डिस्प्ले टुडे।
अरे सवाल कितनी देर पूछा जाता है भैया? अरे 1 सेकंड सवाल पूछा, मैं डिबेट नहीं करूंगा, मैं बता दे रहा हूं आपसे। मैं आपसे सवाल
सर कोई कंपल्शन नहीं है, आप जवाब दीजिए।
खुद ही पूछोगे तो मुझे क्यों बुलाया? नहीं बुलाना चाहिए था मुझे ना, गलती की ना आपने मुझे बुला के।
अनुराग जी, आपके पास इस वक्त जवाब देने को है नहीं और आप अननेसेसरी भटक रहे हैं। लेट मी ब्रिंग इन इनफैक्ट सुनील डबास। सुनील डबास जी, जब इस तरह के गंभीर सवालों का जवाब मांगा जाए तो लोग भड़क जाते हैं। अनफॉर्चुनेटली क्या ये मेंटालिटी को दर्शाता नहीं है कि किस तरह की हिपोक्रेसी आजकल देखने को मिल रही है?
देखो, वेरी शेमफुल, उनको माफी मांगनी चाहिए। और फीमेल की कॉस्ट्यूम के ऊपर अगर उनकी जो रिक्वायरमेंट है स्पोर्ट्स की, चाहे आप स्विमिंग में जाइए, वेदर इन एथलेटिक्स, इन बॉडी बिल्डिंग, ये रिक्वायरमेंट है उसके स्पोर्ट्स की, तो क्यों उसके ऊपर इस टाइप के कमेंट है? उस कमेंट करने की सोच से बाहर कब आएंगे? अभी तो मैं एक गांव से निकली थी, वो मेरा गांव भी बदल गया। तो अब तो 21वीं सदी आ गई है, तो बदलने की कोशिश कीजिए, बजाय कि आप बल्कि आपने हमारी भावनाएं हर्ट की है लड़कियों की इस ड्रेस को बिकनी कहकर। भगवान के सामने आपसे ज्यादा वो बच्चे जो इसके सामने खड़े हैं, वो आपसे ज्यादा पूजा करते होंगे, वो भगवान को आपसे ज्यादा मानते हैं। बजरंग बली की पूजा हम हर मंगलवार, ग्राउंड हमारा खाली जाता है, हम बजरंग बली को हर मंगलवार पूजते हैं, ग्राउंड पर पूजते हैं उनको। भगवान आपसे ज्यादा हम उनकी परवाह करते हैं। तो भगवान केवल आपके नहीं है, बच्चों के ऊपर जो खिलाड़ी हैं उन खिलाड़ियों को इस तरीके की भद्दी भाषा अगर आप लोग यूज करते हैं, बिकनी कहकर आप लोग हमारा आत्मसम्मान गिरा रहे हैं। क्योंकि हमारी लड़कियां हैं, बहन बेटियां हैं, वो वर्ल्ड लेवल पर हर गेम में अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रही है। जिम्नास्टिक में हमारी लड़की जो ओलंपिक में 4th पे पहुंच गई, तो क्या हम उस जिम्नास्ट की लड़की को कुछ भी उसकी ड्रेस का नाम दे देंगे? क्या हम उस बच्चे की भावनाओं को समझेंगे कि वर्ल्ड में स्पोर्ट्स की रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है? आप अपनी सोच को ग्रामीण और या उस एरिया से निकालिए जिसमें आपकी सोच को जंग लग गया है। जो भी कमेंट लड़कियों पे किए गए हैं शेमफुल है। हम ये समझते हैं कि उन लोगों को इन बच्चियों से माफी मांगनी चाहिए और स्पोर्ट्स को रिस्पेक्ट करना चाहिए।
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। आई थिंक द क्वेश्चंस आर ऑल देयर। आई वांट दुष्यंत नागर टू सिंपली रिस्पॉन्ड। दुष्यंत नागर जी, बहुत ही सिंपल सवाल उन्होंने किए हैं और कहीं ना कहीं ये सोच पे सवाल उठते हैं। इन प्लेयर्स का इंसल्ट किया जा रहा है, ये कह रहा है हमारे नेशनल कबड्डी कोच का। जवाब दीजिए इनका।
देखिए, बिल्कुल उनका जो कंसर्न है कुछ हद तक वो ठीक है। हमारे जो स्पोर्ट्स के जो खिलाड़ी हैं उनके ऊपर सवाल नहीं करना चाहिए, उनकी ड्रेस को लेके भी सवाल नहीं करना चाहिए। लेकिन हमें एक चीज याद रखनी होगी कि वहाँ श्री हनुमान जी की एक बड़ी सी प्रतिमा लगी हुई थी और वहाँ बॉलीवुड के म्यूजिक चल रहे थे। तो वहाँ एक ऐसा माहौल नहीं था, कोई धार्मिक माहौल नहीं था, वहाँ पे कोई हनुमान चालीसा का जप नहीं हुआ, वहाँ हनुमान जी की प्रेयर आरती नहीं हुई थी। तो हमें ये देखना चाहिए कि श्री भगवान हनुमान जी की मूर्ति को कहाँ स्थापित करना है, कहाँ नहीं करना है और कहाँ किस प्रकार का माहौल है। तो माहौल को देखते हुए देखिए, हमें जो हमारे धार्मिक देवी देवता हैं उनके प्रतीकों का, उनकी मूर्तियों का इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए। और ये इतनी सी बात है, इसको भारतीय जनता पार्टी क्या है, हर वक्त राजनीति करने के मूड में रहती है। अगर ये कार्यक्रम कहीं पे हिमाचल में, राजस्थान में, छत्तीसगढ़ में, झारखंड में रहा होता तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी अब तक सड़कों पे आ जाती।
ये गंगा जल छिड़कने का क्या आइडिया था?
हनुमान जी का
उसे आप एक राजनीतिक कदम नहीं मानते हैं दुष्यंत जी?
लेकिन इनको क्या है, आज इनको ये वाला एंगल सूट कर रहा है तो ये इधर चल रहे हैं।
उसका कोई राजनीतिक महत्व नहीं है। क्या कांग्रेस इसको
तो उन्होंने हनुमान जी के 40 का जाप किया है। भाई साहब, आज मंगलवार है, मंगलवार को आपको, हमको, सबको हनुमान 40 का जाप करना चाहिए। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपिल लोक उजागर, रामदूत बलदामा पुत्र पवन सुतनामा, महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमत निवार सुमित के संगी कंचन वरण राज सुवेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। तो लोग गए हैं, उन्होंने हनुमान 40 का जाप किया, इसमें क्या गलत है? ये तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। हनुमान जी सबका मंगल करे।
मंगलवार है, होली है, ये हम सब जानते हैं दुष्यंत नागर जी, ये सब जानते हैं। मेनी हैंड्स गोइंग अप। इनफैक्ट डॉक्टर सुनील डबास वांट्स टू रिस्पॉन्ड। आई वांट डॉक्टर सुनील डबास टू कमेंट ऑन दिस। सुनील डबास जी, जवाब दीजिए। दुष्यंत नागर का कहना है हम तो बस हनुमान 40 जापने गए थे, मंगलवार का दिन है। बिल्कुल सही है, कोई गलत काम नहीं हुआ, कोई राजनीति करनी नहीं हुई।
सर, अगर आप उस स्थान को जहां पे इन बेटियों ने अपनी ताकत का लोहा मनवाया है, जहां पे वो अपना स्पोर्ट्स कर रही हैं, अगर उस स्थान को उन बेटियों की वजह से, और जहां पे हनुमान को वो अपना वो मानती हैं, अपना कुल देवता मानती हैं, और वो अपने साथ लेकर चलती हैं, ओलंपिक की सीढ़ी अभी हनुमान जी के बलबूते पे हम आगे बढ़ते हैं, तो वेरी शेमफुल कि आप वहां पे भगवान को ये मानते हो कि वहां जगह नहीं थी रखने की। वो लड़कियों का जो टूर्नामेंट है वो अपवित्र जगह थी क्या? जो लड़कियां वहां पे परफॉर्म कर रही हैं, जो स्पोर्ट्स का नेशनल एक टूर्नामेंट हो रहा है, वो अपवित्र जगह कैसे हो सकती है? वो हर बच्चे के लिए अपना मंदिर है, जहां पे वो अपनी परफॉर्मेंस देता है, वो ग्राउंड उसका मंदिर है, उसको वो माथा चूम के अंदर जाते हैं। हम अपने ग्राउंड को जब छू के अंदर जाते हैं तो आप वहां भी कहोगे कि हनुमान जी
भूमि पवित्र है, लेकिन इन भाजपाइयों ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी
भाजपा की बात कहां से आ गई?
राजनीति की है, वो उचित नहीं है।
भाजपा की बात
और
नहीं
मैं
है
आपको
ये।
बताना चाहता हूं, हनुमान जी की मूर्ति के आगे जिस प्रकार से गाने चलाए गए, वो गाने उचित नहीं है। क्या वहां पे श्री हनुमान जी की आरती का आयोजन किया गया? नहीं किया गया। हनुमान 40 का पाठ किया गया? नहीं किया गया। तो ये
दुष्यंत नागर जी, पहली बात मैं आपको बता दूं कि पिक्चर्स ये भी है कि वहां पे स्टेज पे चढ़ने से पहले किस तरह उस कटआउट, मूर्ति नहीं है पहली बात, कटआउट है, ये एक विजुअल इमेज का कटआउट है, मूर्ति है नहीं पहली बात। तो आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन थोड़ी सी फैक्चुअली मैं वहां करेक्ट करना चाहूंगा। और स्टेज पे आने से पहले सारे खिलाड़ियों ने वहां अपना नमन किया, अपने हाथ जोड़े, और ये कई लोगों का ऑब्जेक्शन भी था, तो आपको ये भी बता दो। बट लेट मी, सिंस रिपीटेडली द नेम ऑफ बीजेपी इज कमिंग इन एंड आई एम सीइंग मेनी हैंड्स गोइंग अप ओवर हियर, आई वांट डॉक्टर आनंद रंगनाथन टू कमेंट. Kasturi, I am seeing your hand. Please give me a few minutes because we have multiple panelists, we have many voices. Subansi Raman, I have noted your hand going up as well, but please be a little patient. We're going to have a longer debate today, but I want to go to each one and do justice. So let me go across to Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Now, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, now there are many points that are being put forth. There are people who get up, worked up and walk away from the debate like Mr. Bhadoria has, because the questions are just so fundamental towards how easily people can actually, I mean, it's mind-boggling how in the 21st century we can actually make this a political issue just because women are actually there on stage and performing.
No, absolutely. Good evening, Madhav, and good evening to all my fellow panelists. There are three issues here. Number one, I think the Congress should sincerely, excuse me, apologize for creating this controversy and being misogynistic to the core. As the lady athletes and the lady doctor has said, this is the dress code for the women bodybuilders. And they have an inspiration, not just the men, but the women as well. Eulogize Lord Hanuman. And Dushyant Ji is a very good friend. He narrated a little bit of Hanuman Chalisa. I also know a little bit of Hanuman Chalisa. Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar. ज्ञान और गुण के सागर हैं. जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर. राम नाम अतुलित बलदामा. अतुलित बलदामा, immeasurable strength. The God possessing him. So why shouldn't bodybuilders be inspired by Lord Hanuman? And why just men bodybuilders? So number one, that is. Number two, being a Darwinian atheist, honestly, I have no skin in the game, but this much I know. Hinduism has survived 5 millennia because it imbibes the scientific virtues of diversity, empathy, independent thought and reform. In Hinduism, religion is an offshoot of the way of life. While in Abrahamic ideologies, way of life is an offshoot of religion. It follows that the former is less shackled by rigidity or by rules and diktats and is therefore more mutable, celebrating diversity of its followers. As always, the source, the fountainhead Madhav, dictates the mutability. In women bodybuilders exhibiting the craft in front of Lord Hanuman. Three, very briefly. Congress speaking up for Hinduism and Hindus is like Hafiz Saeed speaking up for peace and non-violence. Congress has a history of Hindu phobia. Remember the statement by Congress leader Jarki Oli that Hindu has a dirty meaning and Indians should be ashamed of it? And who did Rahul Gandhi, by the way, meet recently on his Bharat Jodo Yatra? Yes, the virulently anti-Hindu pastor George Punaiya, who told him, quote, Jesus is the real God, not Shakti. Then there is Shivraj Patil, who claimed Lord Krishna taught jihad to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Recall how Mahila Congress leader Lavanya Balal made a Gaumutra jibe same as the Pulwama bomber, and an alleged post by the Congress youth wing leader Shaukat Ali called Hinduism a terrorist religion. Recently, a Goa Congress leader Jalmi termed Hindu god Parashuram a terrorist and a rapist. Congress mouthpiece National Herald routinely publishes Hindu-phobic articles, including one where it said Hindu epics were replete with misogyny and Me Too instances. Remember, Congress celebrates Tipu Jayanti despite knowing that he demolished hundreds of temples and converted and butchered lakhs of Hindus. And who can forget that the phrase saffron terror was coined by the Congress and that it wanted to pass the communal violence bill where only the majority, i.e. Hindus, would be held guilty in a communal riots. Rahul, just 20 seconds, Madhav, please. The Congress dispensation in 2004 asked a Hindu Doordarshan anchor to not display his Hindu sacred symbol Kalava. Remember how Congress leaders publicly butchered a calf just to mock Hindu sensibilities in Kerala? Recall how time and again, just 10 seconds, the Congress derides and insults and denigrates Hindutva, despite the fact that Supreme Court has asserted that, quote, Hindutva means the Indian culture and not merely Hindu religion, unquote. So Congress should be the last party and people to be standing up for Hinduism.
Okay, Subansi Raman, the Congress is the last party that has qualified to actually comment on this. And just one point that I am just not able to understand is that at the end of the day, they are bodybuilders. It's their job to show off the muscles that they've worked hard to develop. So, I mean, where's the question of even objecting to the kind of gear that they are dressed
Madhav, first of all, it is interesting to see the Congress do a BJP to the BJP. Second, irony just died. I mean, we've got BJP spokespersons and leaders vying with one another to defend, the right of women to dress as they please. Now, I'm sure, Madhav, since you gave Dr. Ranganathan a very substantial period of time, you will give me half that amount of time, right? Rape cases increase as women's dresses excite men. This is from a BJP MLA, Renukacharya. Women wearing jeans not good for India, okay, says a BJP leader from Madhya Pradesh. Girls visiting pubs in short dresses must be stopped, says Goa minister. Okay, this is again a BJP government minister. BJP MLA demands ban on skirts. This irks women leaders and girls. Madhya Pradesh Home Minister objects to Deepika Padukone's dress in Patan. BJP leader slams Urfi Javed for wearing revealing. I mean, I could go on, Madhav. Madhav, this debate is, we are seeing the depth of irony today. And I mean, it's unbelievable that, but I'm glad that it's actually happening today. I think we must compliment the Congress for having made it an issue so that at least we can get to see BJP spokespersons and supporters, supporting the right of women to wear what they like. I think matter is completely, the objective for which the Congress has raised this issue has been achieved in its entirety. Great, and I just hope they continue like this
really
instead of reverting back to all the statements that I read.
Two wrongs,
actually, there's a much longer
country that we're talking about.
So, we are having this debate on the eve of International Women's Day, and that is really the biggest irony of it all. And what I have to say is there are two main overarching issues here. One is that this is a sporting event, and like everybody else is saying, there are international standards of dress code to judge a sporting event. So if it's a bodybuilding event, women are in bikinis, so what? I mean, it's fine. So they are supposed to show what the work they have done on their bodies, and it's a competitive sport. So I don't see anything wrong in that. And I think for those who are talking about the dress code, this is a subversive attempt to control women's bodies and women's clothing, whether it be in public spaces or whether it be in sporting events. Sporting events have their own dress codes, so nobody has the right to speak about it, right? The point number two is that there was a cutout of Hanuman Ji over there. Now, if builders, men bodybuilders, who just have a loincloth around them, can have, cutouts of whatever, gods, or have minimal dressing. I don't see why this should be an issue for women, because as a woman, I think women have every right to have, control over their own bodies and their choice of clothing. And of course, a sporting event, they don't even have a choice, because the sporting event gives them a certain international standard of dresses or dressing.
Right.
So, but my, point here is something little different. Please bear with me for one more minute. Sporting events are intersectional in nature. All kinds of people come to sporting events. So that the political party, the Congress political party, people are speaking about, I also feel that all political parties are guilty of lack of knowledge, lack of auchityam, in worship. Auchityam, loosely translated, means propriety, okay? So you have to, gods have to be worshipped. Gods, I know that Hanuman is associated with bodybuilding, but there need not be a cutout of him, for public displays. All that I'm saying, because
there is a cultural association there, Pratibha.
No, I'm not insulting Ganga Jal. I'm just saying that.
Let me just come in now. But Suman, the larger point that she has made is very important.
Madhav, I know there is a cultural association, but
she is insulting. She
yes,
is insulting.
There is a cultural association, but see, people are walking.
No, but Sumansi Raman, what about the attempt to snatch
I'm a Hindu,
agency?
I'm a worshipping Hindu,
I'm
a practicing Hindu, and I'm not.
Absolutely, Sumansi Raman, you're taking away from the core of the debate. I have already told her, I have already said that there is a context in which all this is happening. But the larger question is this: it's being seen as nothing but playing politics over women and their rights.
Nonsense.
What is nonsense?
Yes.
Maybe I
should trying to control, women's bodies. What is nonsense? Is your understanding of English so poor that you don't understand what I'm saying? I'm saying,
Madam. No, madam, it's not.
Is your understanding of English so poor, Suman? Please, for God's sake.
You said that they did. Yeah. They did. Some
I said that purification
nonsense. I want you to explain what you mean by that.
The concept. Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I mean by that. And Sanatana Dharma, or what the implications of it, who are saying they're going to purify that place, through Ganga Jal. Ganga is holy. You don't just purify. Doesn't it sound ridiculous to you?
Absolutely, and that's what was stated by the. I don't think Sumansi Raman, you followed what was said earlier by Dr. Sunil Dabas, where she very clearly articulated that by saying that women athletes. Sumansi Raman, now listen in. Since you've asked a question, listen to the response, because this was cited by the national committee coach who's on the panel. She's saying you are insulting the athletes who performed, who worked hard, by saying that their performance on stage has polluted the stage. You're purifying what? You're purifying something that's been polluted.
Exactly.
So this is obviously a sign of the regressive mentality once again, Sumansi Raman.
Exactly.
How can you defend this?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Now ask the lady to answer the question: why women wearing jeans is not good for India, as quoted by a BJP leader.
So who is justifying that? Who is justifying that, Sumansi Raman? Come on, this is the last. This is the absolute, I'm at my wit's end with this kind of a question. Who can justify these kind of statements? Obviously they are wrong. Nobody, two wrongs don't make a right, sir. Let's not justify this. Let's not justify this. Let me bring in Kasturi Shankar on that point. Kasturi Shankar, there may be a number of leaders of other political parties who may have made controversial statements. Does that justify what's happening today? What kind of argument is this?
Apart from Sumant, he got completely
No, I'm saying that the Congress has succeeded.
You made a point, Sumant. Now listen to the response, please. Sumant, please calm down. Listen to the response. You made a point. You made a point. Now listen to the response. Let Kasturi speak.
Oh, God.
He got diverted. He's all about, look at what BJP said before, and now they are standing up for the rights of women to dress whichever way they want. No. This is not what's happening here. What's happening here is that the hypocrisy and the double standards of every political person, no matter party, no bar, every political leader who is thinking that they can milk this, their hypocrisy is being exposed. Be it BJP during the Deepika Padukone controversy, or be it SP and Congress right now. Every single person is targeting women at the end of the day for their political gains,
Who is suffering? Legitimate athletes and women. It takes forever. Madhav, you have no idea how difficult it is to convince women to come onto a public stage. How difficult it is to make them even go to college. And then to come to show business. And the most difficult of them all is sports, because sports involves training long hours, being in the care of third-party people, not going to their families. It involves a lot of lifestyle changes, which have been slowly, women and girls are being convinced to come into the sporting field. Slowly, we are making advances. And to then slut shame them, to body shame them, to tell them that they are unclean because they are wearing their required gear. It's ridiculous and it's so hypocritical. Especially, and I want to talk about the guy who just left, that Neta. He's so confused. He doesn't know if it is Deepavali or Holi. He doesn't know if it is bodybuilding or a sport or a scandal. He doesn't know any of that. Or he just wants to keep talking. He doesn't even know what the debate is about. He's talking about LPG gas. So, at least the other Neta here stuck to that point. And to you, sir, I say, why shouldn't there be an image of Hanuman there? Wars have been fought by kings whose Kul Devata is Vijay Chamundi or Lord Venkateswara or Lord Goddess Bhuvaneshwari. They bow down. Shivai, goddess Shivai, was the goddess of Shivaji Maharaj, and she was his patron goddess. We go to a restaurant, we go to a bar. The Hinduism is part and parcel of India's culture. You go to a bar today, in the owner's little cubicle, you will find God pictures. Uska dhanda hai, wo to pranam karke dhanda shuru karega na. Subah. So you cannot say God should only be here to the Madam, Pratima Madam. You cannot say God should only be here, God should only be there. You can say you can't have a bodybuilding contest inside a temple. Okay. You can say you can't have a bodybuilding contest inside a temple. But you cannot say you can't have God here because you know what?
Questions coming in for both Sumant and Pratibha Parad. I'm going to let Sumant respond. Sumant, I think she's raised a number of pertinent points that I want you to respond on. Number of pertinent points, sir. I think she has actually exposed her arguments today on television. Please respond to her.
Madhav, I continue to maintain that I think that this issue was raised purely to embarrass the BJP and highlight the double standards that they have. And I think that politically that has been successful. The very fact...
I find it amazing, sir, that they have exposed the BJP. I mean, Anand Raghunathan, is it par for course? I mean, is this all? Everything just grist for the mill? Attitudes towards women, all of this is just par for course. What is the kind of argument we're talking about here, Anand Raghunathan?
Espouse liberal values.
Can I please, Madhav, with your permission? Yeah, very briefly, 2 points. First of all, may I humbly disagree with one of the lady panelists who said that one should not exhibit gods or images of gods, wherever one pleases. I disagree with that because in, let's say, literature festivals, how you open it for books and other things, you have goddess Saraswati because she is the goddess of wisdom and, books. And likewise, Lord Hanuman is the god of strength and is an icon for bodybuilding. Hanuman ji ki jagah kya Yuzvendra Chahal ko rakhenge unka cutout. And number two, ma'am,
Kasturi Shankar, let him make his point. I'll give you a chance as well. Let him make his point, please.
Yes, and number two, as far as, I think Dr. Sumant Raman, while I agree with it is a legitimate recourse to take whataboutery as a defense, and he has taken that. The fact of the matter is he has only narrated the misogynistic comments, rightly so, and condemnable, of BJP leaders. He's completely missed out dozens and dozens of misogynistic anti-women comments by Congress leaders. But be that as it may, the point is today to brush off this as Congress exposing BJP's hypocrisy is quite laughable because here the Congress is exposing its own misogyny.
Right.
Because the Congress feels that women, A, cannot come out in open wearing a dress code for a sports competition, and B, they cannot idolize or eulogize the god of strength, who is Lord Hanuman. He is equally a god for men as well as women.
Let me bring in Pratibha Prahlad on that. Pratibha Prahlad, at least two panelists have very strongly condemned your comment that there should be no god statue there, because they say that, that is incorrect in a country like India. This is normally a common practice. It happens. There is Saraswati Vandana that happens at the opening of functions. There's nothing wrong with that. Why are we running away or brushing away from the major issue, which is the attitude towards women? Please, one second. Kasturi, let her respond. You have asked her a question. Give her a chance to respond.
Okay, just hear me in silence for 2 minutes, please. Just 1 minute if you want to. I want to respond to the previous panelist. I'm a classical dancer of 55 years standing, and we have Nataraja on stage, we have God Jagannath on stage, and we have many other gods on stage as appropriate for that particular style of dance. So I don't have an objection to that. But when we go on stage, we go without shoes, without chappals. We do Pushpanjali to the gods, we worship the gods, and then we start our a performance, whether it's a music performance or a dance performance. And we don't really walk on stage with shoes on, because we have reverence for these gods. We light a lamp, we put Pushpanjalis, offering flowers, and then we perform. Because the stage is revered, the god on stage is revered. Nataraja is the god of dance, as you know. Lord Jagannath is worshipped by Odissi dancers. I can go on and on. But I'm not coming to that particular part of the debate, because I have been in this field for 55 years as a practicing classical dancer.
No, due respect to you, ma'am.
I'm a Hindu. I'm a worshipper of Hindu. And and let me just finish my point, please, and you can then take over after I do. The point here is I'm also a woman, and I have always spoken up for women's rights to do what they want in life, whether they want to be in culture, they want to be in sporting events, whether they want to be in politics, or whatever they want to be in life. In this particular event, women are mandated to wear that costume that they're wearing, the dress code, because it is a bodybuilding event and they have to display their muscles. There is nothing wrong in women doing what they did, and to use women as pawns, to use women to play your own political game, your own little political game, and say that these women have defiled the stage space and therefore we're going to purify that stage space through Ganga Jal, to me is obnoxious and ridiculous.
Okay. To that extent, you agree with Dr. Sunita Godara?
Ganga Jal. Of course, we all respect Ganga Jal.
But let me bring her in. Yes, let me bring her in. Dr. Sunita Godara,
the only reason, one more point, Madhav.
Yeah. Okay. 10, 15 seconds. Quickly, please. We have to go across to others as well. Yeah.
In 50 seconds, I'll just tell you why I said that the Hanuman cutout need not be on stage. I said it's my personal opinion, because people should not walk on the same stage in front of our deities with shoes and chappals on. That's the only reason.
Okay, very interesting. You have a completely different point of view from all of our other panelists, and that's why I'm going to get in Dr. Sunita Godara on that. Dr. Sunita Godara, while she feels that's reprehensible that Ganga Jal was used, while she feels that politicians are misusing this for their political purposes, here is somebody who's a classical dancer saying that on the stage, perhaps, given the fact that worship could not have taken place, as the respect to the deity that one of the other panelists was referring to could not have been done. It should not have been there. That's her personal view. Do you agree with her? Do you disagree with her? Dr. Sunita Godara. Yeah.
First of all, she is a dancer. They may be having different rules. In sports, we always wear shoes and we go everywhere. And why we can't stop power lifters or wrestlers or bodybuilders if they are worshipping Lord Hanuman? Because it's a symbol of power, it's a symbol of strength. So this is very wrong. First of all, on the eve of International Women's Day, where the international theme is embrace equity, why they are cleaning that place with Ganga Jal? This is degrading and demoralizing women, Lord Hanuman did not say ki saaf kar do zameen ko, because they were female doing their bodybuilding show, and ladies coming, means women are degrading women. That is very bad. They have to change their mindset, all people who are opposing or who are criticizing this bodybuilding show or having cutout of Lord Hanuman there, they have to change their mindset. This is a sports, and all sports have their own rules, all dress codes. So we follow that.
We're completely out of time. It's been a very engaging discussion, multiple points of view, very different points of view from I thought what would be coming from different guests of ours. But on that note, we'll have to leave it there. Dr. Sunita Godara, Dr. Sunil Dabas, Kasturi Shankar, Pratipha Prahlad, Dr. Suman Siraman and Anurag Badoria and Dushran Nagar. Thank you so much for joining us on debate number 1 on the News Hour this evening.